Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Guided Way. I am your guide, Sean McCauley. I'm just going to give you a heads up for what I'm going to be doing for next week. Next week videos is going to be based on relationships. And again, I randomly selected 4 cards from Colette Baron Reid's collection of Wisdom Oracle cards from the House of Night. And what we're going to be focusing on is relationships and belonging, because we have a drive and a want and a need to feel like we belong to someone or to something or to someplace, because we want to feel, an emotional connection. We want to feel a psychological connection. We want to have a loving connection, but, we need to have a place where we feel where we can be ourselves, no matter where we're at. Because one of the things I've learned over the years is that people will behave differently around other types of people. Like some people will act very differently around their parents, but they'll act completely different when they're with their friends. But they'll act completely different from that if they're like at work or if they're at school. So we have like multiple versions of ourselves, and we can never actually be our one whole self. And the one thing that I've always tried to strive to be is just be the same person that I am all the time, because I found that that's just so much easier, finding my true self and being that person all the time. But again, some people, they have a tendency to want to, belong, or, feel like, they can't really be themselves completely around certain types of people or certain friends or family members. They always have to be, this way, this at this place, and be this person at this place. And, that's very convoluted and very, it creates more complications and more drama than what it absolutely has to be. So, me, I try to be the same person I am at home as in with my work, or from with my kids, or with friends or family, because I want to be myself all the time. But again, it's going to be about belonging. It's going to be about love, deceit. Unfortunately, people have a tendency to be deceitful. Remember when I said, people act differently when they're with, their friends or their family, but they act differently with their, with employers or co-workers, or they act completely different with their family members. So they can kind of, play on that as well. And then, choices. Have we made good choices? Have we made bad choices, in our relationships? Maybe we need to take a step back and reevaluate our relationships and those that we have in our lives. And just to kind of give you a heads up, because I won't be using the tower spread next week, and I won't be using the eye spread, but what I'll be doing is a kind of a half cross, a kind of a double half cross. And essentially what it's going to look like, if I get my cards out here, is that the left side is going to be the female aspect of that relationship, and the right side is going to be the male aspect of that relationship. And so, but this isn't going to be an actual reading. This is just how the spread is going to look. And that would be number 1 for the her, number 2 for the him, or no, number 1 for him, well, actually, and the top card is going to be the female aspect of the spread, and the bottom card is going to be the male aspect of the spread. And this card here is going to be pretty much the main focal point and pretty much the most important card throughout the entire read. because what it is that you know, what is she holding back from the relationship, or what is it? Maybe she wants to bring into relationship, but maybe it won't be liked, and the same as over here for the male aspect is that what is he holding back? What maybe something that he wants to bring to the relationship, but maybe the relationship is too new, or maybe he's too scared, or maybe she's too nervous, or she's too shy. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. And then the number two for the male and female is what's under the surface. What is kind of like a guilty pleasure or a hidden desire, or maybe this is something doing in your past that maybe you're not so proud of. And then we're going to go to the number three cards for the male and female, 3 and 3, and what is good or bad. What the female thinks that's good or bad about the relationship, and what does the male aspect perceive what's good or bad about the relationship. And then we'll go into your sense of emotions and feelings in the relationship, which is number 4 here for her, and number 4 here for him. And then the number 5 is how is the other feeling. So this is the female, this is male aspect, and so what is she feeling? How does she feel about the relationship? What is he feeling, or how does he feel about the relationship? And then this is where everything comes together, and this is the end result. This is the absolute outcome. So I hope you guys tune in for next week, and that's because that's what I'll be doing. But I have a multitude of different decks. So if you look me up under Sean McCauley and look for my group Guided Way, if there's a deck that you would like to see me use that I haven't used as of yet, I have a multitude of various decks, from Celtic to Druid to Hidden Realms to the Spell Shaper to the Mystical Dreamer decks. I actually even have one that's from the Game of Thrones, and hopefully before next week I should be having another deck based on Alice in Wonderland, and I think that could be really fun and really cool and really unique. But again, if you think of a deck, or if I have a deck, because I have the Celtic deck, I have the Manga Tarot deck, I have the Fantasy Erotic Art Tarot deck, and of course you've seen the Runic deck and the Celtic deck. I also have the 13 Tarot deck, and it's actually pretty handy right now, so I can just kind of give you an idea what that looks like just real quick. Oops, pardon me. And this is the back of it. Which it seems kind of dark and kind of foreboding, but this is actually a really good deck. And it's just kind of a little hard because you have it in French and you have it in Spanish, and you have it in German, and so but this deck is also very unique. Granted, it may seem two-dimensional to you. I don't see it as so two-dimensional. I see it very striking, and it stands out in its own way. But if there's any kind of deck that I might have that you think you might enjoy, again, just look for my group called Guided Way and ask me for an invite. And then if you have a request, you can definitely make a request, and you can see the different different types of decks that I have. And people will ask me, well, why do you have so many different decks? Well, why are there so many different people? And that's my answer. Also, I do free consultations, which is three to 5 card spreads, and those I generally do for free. I do ask for a donation, but again, it's not necessary. But if you would like a full-on reading, I do have some spreads that I have put into other videos, as well as on my Facebook group site, The Guided Way. And so if there's something that you see there that might interest you, again, just look me up under Sean McCauley, friend me, and I can invite you to the group. And if I do an actual full reading for you, I will do a full reading, regardless of how many cards it is. I'm not just going to spend a half hour with you or 15 minutes with you and charge you 40 or 60 or 80 bucks, but I do ask for a small fee of $15, and that is only for because of the other projects that I'm trying to do and other adventures and avenues that I'm trying to take, and I'm just asking for a small fee of $15. But like I said, if it takes me a half hour or if it takes me a whole hour, the whole reading will only cost $15. And I will be off work this Thursday and Friday, so I will be available to do readings for you. And so, if you like what you've seen, please hit like and subscribe. And thank you for watching. Stay safe and be blessed.